attention. How many times have you read a negative comment online and felt this weird sense of displeasure for the rest of your day? As our online lives and livelihoods are increasingly centered around the internet, the phrases "just go outside," "just turn off your phone" doesn't always apply. So what would you do if you pissed off an entire country? How would you react if you were the target of a mass harassment campaign? In the case of Kiryu Coco,
yeah, if you pissed off an entire country, you know what you do? I don't curse. You say screw it and screw everyone in that country and say too bad. Eat my nutsack.
Coco, this is exactly what happened when she became the scapegoat for decades of geopolitical tensions between China and Taiwan.
Hey guys! Thank you for coming to my stream. My name is Kiryu Coco.
And showed the world that underneath the VTubers industry glossy surface lied a complex array of diplomatic and political interests that controlled everything.
That was really sad when I heard the announcement because Coco's really great. I really like her stuff. I think she has a great personality and I will miss her greatly.
She's done so much for the company and now she's just not there anymore.
Now we're continuing coverage around the auntie's pitiful attempts to go after Kiryu Coco.
In this video, we'll explore the powers at play during the infamous Taiwan incident involving Kiryu Coco, but before
Gamefly is the best way to try new games.
Gamefly sucks.
Rent it, love it, buy it.
Before we start, it's important to shed some light on the person behind a character to understand how they handled the whole incident, as well as understanding the evolution of public perception during that time. Something I have to mention before we start is, although I will try my very best to be as thorough as possible during this video, this is a massive topic, and I definitely won't be able to get to everything that relates to it. In addition to that, we will refer to Kason during her Kason era and Kiryu Coco during her Coco era to keep things easy to follow. So buckle up, grab a drink and get comfortable because this is gonna be a long one. But before we start, a message from our sponsor. This video is sponsored by console players, but it's
And my colleague was like, there are like streamers.
Do you know how strange this sounds? Do you know this looks so strange to me? What are they like? I mean,
playing games online. I got interested in it and I started watching it.
As the story goes, this colleague eventually asked her to stream video games with her, and even though they never ended up collabing, it was the spark that ignited a lifelong burning interest for the internet world in Kaeson's heart. So in 2017, Kaeson eventually started to make her own online content.
And then he said like, I want to stream like them. How about we do it together? We ended up never doing it together because, I don't know, he just disappeared. He quit job. I want to still do it with you, but he just disappeared, so I'll do it myself. And I started
her voice?
Making the Let's Play.
Okay.
Yeah.
The only reason I recognize this lady, this
She
VTuber,
explains that her very first taste of
Smite.
viral content happened in Japan when she started to post Let's Play videos on Nico Nico.
My very first video kind of went viral in Japan.
What kind of video?
Cool.
Gaming?
Yeah, it was a game called Siren, and it was so satisfying to have comments. I felt so good.
I love comments.
People, is it?
Yeah.
When people comment on my
Which was
YouTube
a nice
videos, I
surprise,
love it.
and while
I
she
write
was
to
happy
every
about
single
this
one of them.
milestone, she wasn't worried about making it on the internet or entertaining a large audience. All that mattered to her is that she was enjoying it.
I started my internet career. I don't know if I should call it a career because when I first started it, I wasn't making any money with it. I was just having fun. That was like 6 to 7 years ago.
And in 2020, Kaeson's VTuber model debut was quite modest. To her own recollection, she started off with an avatar called Deku-chan that she was using from a free software and a really cheap mic. The reason she decided to switch to VTubing simply because she was sick of putting makeup on for IRL streams.
I thought I would let's do the VTuber stuff because I'm tired of putting makeup on myself. And
Based, also the same reason as mine. During that time, Kaeson experimented with her content. First by streaming faceless
Probably made her more
content and then
popular.
swapping to a VTuber model. And even back then, in 2016, she was already pushing boundaries of streaming as she frequently streamed in English and in Japanese. Something that was quite rare at the time, but also something that would come to play a big role in her future.
Well, if you can speak multiple languages, you're automatically going to grow faster on YouTube. Look at Gangnam Style. They promoted that in many countries because of the language that they used. So yeah, absolutely. Look at Spanish music videos. Absolutely, sure.
Her success.
Makes sense.
Coco never actually planned to become a VTuber with HoloLive. See, her plan was simply to get a part-time job so she could continue VTubing and doing what she loved on the side. It just so happened that HoloLive was then looking for a manager, so she applied for a job there. Coincidentally, the 4th generation auditions were happening at that time and she got recommended to join. So Kiryu Coco officially debuted as part of the 4th generation of HoloLive on December 28, 2019 with Amane Kanata, Tsunomaki Watame, Tokoyami Towa, and Himemori Luna. Prior to Coco, VTubers were mostly reserved to a small and obscure part of the internet that only appealed to hardcore anime fans. There were very few English-speaking VTubers at the time. However, Coco changed everything when she arrived, as she was one of the first members to gain a very large Western audience. Coco was indeed one of the pioneers of VTubing in the Western world, as she bridged the gap between her Japanese and overseas audience by being one of the first VTubers who could speak both English and Japanese fluently, but also by being the first to add subtitles to her streams and having
Sneak past the guards and grab the treasure. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna shop
having a unique blend of shitposting humor and internet savviness that would appeal to both Eastern and Western audiences. Coco was a satirical morning news stream that she created with the purpose of cheering up people going to school or work. She had to wake up at 6 a.m. to do these and required 8 hours of preparation for each show.
Get the out of your bed, mother girls. Ohayou gozaimasu!
Many of HoloLive's funniest and most iconic moments of that time happened during this show. For example, her iconic opening greeting,
"Good morning, motherfuckers."
Or like Watame's infamous apology. To give a little context, Watame had been having internet connection problems as she disconnected over 60 times in one stream. And just as Coco was presenting her apology on her talk show, it happened again in an either extremely good or extremely bad timing. And Coco, with her hilarious reaction, just turned a potential disaster into an iconic moment.
ちなみに渡辺さん、お願いします。
この間の雑談配信で回線員すごい弱々なところを見せてしまったんだけど、それについて一言言います。渡辺は悪く
皆さん、なんということでしょう。
On top of that, Coco hosted weekly Reddit shitpost reviews, a stream where she reviewed memes and posts from the Reddit sub with other HoloLive members. These streams were immensely popular. Needless to say, Coco quickly became fans' favorite as she smashed through various milestones, earning 1 million subs in a little bit over a year into her tenure and finally becoming the top super chatted YouTuber of all time. Not of VTubers, not just of streamers, out of everyone. The fans just loved her energy and her humor, and they often showered her with super chats every time she went live. One super chat train in particular lasted over 14 minutes long. Coco was also a pivotal influence into creating HoloMyth, the first HoloLive branch dedicated for English speakers. First, by proving to HoloLive that there was interest in the West for VTubers, and secondly, by directly promoting their branch. First, by announcing them.
デビューさせると言っているようですね。こんなアイドルはどうですか？ストリートからスターへ、金髪で、ツインテールで、爆乳の大胆女子とか、なんと、もうデビュー
I mean, she did advertise her giant breasts. How are you gonna get an American audience without giant breasts? You don't. They did it perfect. They knew what they were doing.
するための
And secondly, by creating this beautiful masterpiece that would inspire English fans all over the world to audition for HoloMyth.
Hey, this is Code from HoloLive USA. I have an important announcement, so shut the up and listen. What are you looking at?
The following advertisements is intended for EN VTubers applicants only. It's V! Hololive Audition! We're giving you avatars! It's V! We're giving you support! It's Hololive Audition! It's a V chance for you, friend! It's VTuber Audition! You gotta make a 5-minute video, but the chance is V! Chances to go viral, no joke! It's V! You unlock the door to your V chance, we got you the avatar! There are unlimited chances, it's V! We've got your back! We're not carrying this around all day. It's for you to use. VTuber Audition. I'm gonna pee in my pants. Friend, come get your damn chance. It's a V chance.
If I had to do a VTuber audition, I would go like this. All right. I'm gonna make piss sounds. I'm gonna make cute sounds. Okay. All right. Go like wee in quack. And I'm gonna play video games. Okay. And, well, you need an example of me, drawing my VTuber. I guess I would be like a little mafia guy with a little like a fedora with a gun pointed at someone or something, of course, and then, what else do VTubers do? I could do some backflips in VR chat. Yeah. I could do some muscles, but not really. I could try, but not really, yeah. Or I could watch stuff on the internet. Well, thank you for my audition. You want to go further than that? No, thank you for auditioning. You can leave now. Oh. And that would be my audition for VTubing. Yeah. I think it went great. It was perfect.
Friend, you got Hololive Audition. Friend, does it get better than this? Friend, the avatar is V. Friend, the avatar is V. It's a V-tuber. It's VTuber Hololive.
Isn't this what you wanted?
Coco was on top of the world. Her fans were ecstatic and everything was going so well that it felt like the universe was holding its breath, waiting for the other shoe to drop. But as they say, everything that goes up must come down. And down they did on that fatal day of late September 2020 when Kiryu Coco and VTuber Akai Hato dug up their YouTube analytics to read where their viewers came from. Those analytics displayed China and Taiwan as two separate countries. And that single word, Taiwan, was like a matchstick that ignited.
So what? Yeah, over there it's a big deal, but guess what? Here in every other country they're separate. Too bad.
A wildfire of fury across China as it blazed across various news headlines and social media platforms, with many media outlets perpetrating the story and contributing to the anger of nationalist Chinese citizens. So much so that Hachama and Coco were even discussed during a meeting between members of the Japanese Parliament Alliance on China, the GPAC. This is serious stuff. But why? First of all, it's important to note that the Chinese government has been known to censor news and social media content that is critical of the government, and many media outlets have had to comply with China's censorship laws and political pressure. This has led to a situation where many Chinese citizens are only exposed to news that is favorable to the government, which can contribute to nationalist sentiment and anti-foreigner sentiment rising. To understand why China was so offended by the mere mention of Taiwan, we need to delve into the politics and history at play here, which dates back several decades. Whoa, not that far. There we go. The conflict between China and Taiwan has a long history that spans over centuries. However, for the sake of brevity, I will only go as far back as World War II. After the end of World War II, a military dictator named Chiang Kai-shek rose to lead the Chinese Nationalist Party. In 1948, during a civil war, Mao's army swept in the country to victory and deposed of the current military dictatorship, replaced it with their own, and forced the former military leader and all of his anti-communist communist supporters to retreat to Taiwan. Mao's plan was to invade Taiwan and crush his opposition once and for all. However, at that time, the Cold War was also happening, and America was obsessed with countering communism. Therefore, they decided to form an alliance with Taiwan to dissuade Mao from invading their country. Chiang Kai-shek then declared Taiwan as the one true Republic of China and vowed to return to the mainland to reclaim his land. Since then, the two countries have been fighting for international recognition and legitimacy. Initially, Taiwan was recognized by many Western countries as being the only Chinese government. However, as the tides of the Cold War shifted, Mao's China became increasingly important for Americans to be kept as an ally. Therefore, Taiwan's influence started to diminish. The One China principle became a pillar of the communist regime, and Mao's China got reinstated as the one true republic once again. As years went by, the divide in values and mentality between China and Taiwan grew larger and larger. While Taiwan eventually became a democratic country capable of standing on its own 2 feet, they've watched China with wary eyes and failed to see why they would ever go back to China's totalitarian regime.
As the president of Taiwan, I must deal with the cross-strait relations according to the will of the people.
Since then, China's diplomatic pressure and large economic and military status have been impossible for governments and international companies around the world to ignore. The Chinese market is humongous, but if you want to do business in China, you gotta play by their rules. For example, there was an incident where American Airlines was pressured by China to change the way it referred to Taiwan on its website. Gap was also no exception. The clothing retailer had to apologize for selling a t-shirt that featured a map of China without Taiwan. Mercedes-Benz, the automaker, had also apologized for quoting the Dalai Lama in an Instagram post. One by one, they all had to bend the knee, and HoloLive was no exception. The popular Chinese streaming websites Bilibili pulled in copious amounts of viewers, and their early collaboration with Chinese gacha games such as Azur Lane propelled their popularity during their beginnings. Cover Corps also had a full-on Chinese branch at the time, and it's for those reasons that HoloLive also had to play by China's rules. So now that you guys are more familiar with China's history, you can get a better understanding of the powers at play in the events that followed, and why the acknowledgement of Taiwan as a country and not a state was exceptionally enraging for those Chinese nationalists. It's also important to note that this group is not monolithic, and there are many different opinions and perspectives in this issue.
Kaito, I found your supporters in Bilibili today. Oh, thank you so much! I touching because they still support you within tough situation. I do know that. Thank you so much for supporting me from all over the world, and especially from Bilibili. Thank you so much. I love you guys.
But for the sake of this video, I will mostly refer to Chinese citizens that were offended by the mention of Taiwan to nationalists or Chinese netizens. So back to Kiryu Coco and Hachama's story. Following this incident, both of them received a large amount of backlash, harassment, death threats, dox threats, spams, and hate raids. But it wasn't only individuals that were angry. Chinese companies such as video game developers, media outlets, and streaming websites all cut ties with HoloLive. Bilibili, for example, immediately banned the two VTubers. Mounting pressure against Cover Corp, 2 days later, an apology was released, along with an announcement promptly suspending for 3 weeks Hato and Coco. Whether in an attempt to appease the angry fans or to protect the talent, it is unclear. But what is clear is that the letters themselves ended up causing even more backlash from basically everybody. On one hand, Chinese netizens were angry because they wanted harsher sanctions for the two VTubers. And on the other hand, the rest of the world was angry at HoloLive for essentially selling out Taiwan.
It's one of those, China sucks, screw China and anything China does, right? And you should have just agreed with the rest of the world. Because everyone hates China. Even China's allies hate China. That's the world we live in. So, there's more people in China than like everywhere else, right? There's a ton of people in China. But you know, like India has the most amount of people, I'm pretty sure. And they also hate China. I mean, the world hates China. Even North Korea hates China.
punishing their livers who had done nothing wrong and bending the knee to China. Additionally, fans noticed discrepancies in the joint English, Japanese, and Chinese versions of the letters. While the former stated that they were suspended for showing erroneous YouTube analytics and inappropriate remarks, the latter said Cover Corp firmly supports the One China principle. To which Cover Corp was later forced to address and apologized with the following statement. We apologize for the confusion resulting from our recent official statement. There were discrepancies between the statement published for the Chinese audience and those which were published for the Japanese and global audience. Due to the above circumstance and because our service policies, guidelines, and modes of communication differ depending on the countries and territories to which we provide our service, we decided to adapt the contents of our statement and the matter of its release accordingly. However, this led to differing statements being released. We would once more like to deeply apologize for the confusion this has caused. Additionally, the CEO of Cover Corp, Yago, took to Twitter to apologize for the incident and announced that he would take a pay cut in the hopes of letting the dust settle. When Coco finally came back from her suspension, she had a glorious and unapologetic stream where her fans celebrated her and donated copiously to show their support.
I'm back, guys! ただいまを言わせてください皆さんホロライブ所属4期生キルココただいま戻りました
What an
I
opening.
love all the fans all over the
Dude,
world.
I
no
wish I
matter
could
if
be
they
so
hate me
excited all the
or
time.
Not.
Everybody seemed to have fun, and she ended
I
her
did,
stream
like,
with a
tons
cheeky
of cocaine,
message to her haters.
right?
Fuck
Just
you
get some crack.
and never come back.
Thank you guys for all those comments.
That'll do it.
Love ya.
On the other hand, Hachama took a different approach. She returned with a tearful apology and seemed eager to avoid drama from now on.
なんか、まあ、はーちゃまはまだまだ未熟なところもあるし、なんかね、人生経験のがもう全然なくて、なんかいろいろ突っ走っちゃうこともあるけど、まあ、今回の失敗もちゃんと糧にして。
For Coco, she had won a battle, but not the war. This enraged the aunties as they doubled down their efforts to bring her down. They felt like Hachamas had accidentally mentioned Taiwan, that it was an honest mistake. But in the case of Coco, she had deliberately said it. One of the first shots was fired by a large clips channel called Hololive Moments, who tweeted, "I'd like to say an announcement, but it's more like a manifesto for how long it is, their displeasure over Coco's and Hato's punishment," stating that it was too heavy of a punishment for Hato and too light for Coco. She was, according to them, very negligent of her colleague's career and had caused Hololive severe reputational damage. And they stated that they would private all of their videos and go inactive until Hololive made an announcement that is satisfactory to them. And true to their word, this account is still inactive to this day. From this point on, there were daily mass campaigns aimed at boycotting and harassing Kiryu Coco. Aunties would join her multiplayer lobbies on stream to spam her with insults and harass her.
This is where the internet comes in. We got to get the keks out. Okay. We need 4chan. Okay. We need Shia LaBeouf. As much as I hate to admit it, we need Shia LaBeouf here. Okay. He got to come in. All right. And he's going to wipe all these Chinese commies out. They don't stand a chance. Okay? They don't stand a chance. And they got to get away from the VTubing girl. Right? They have no idea. Okay? You think the internet... The internet's blocked over in China. The internet will not stand for VTubers going under. Alright? We need them. You must rally to save the VTubers, especially against China.
Some were threatening to use her deepfakes and upload them on Pornhub. They would also frequently hijack hashtags on Twitter in order to hurt her growth and make her life difficult. Chinese nationalists developed whole master plans and found creative ways to continuously harass Coco. One of their inventions was a bot designed to relentlessly spam the livers chat named the Wheelbarrow Bot. Eventually, the girls started to set their chats to members only to prevent that.
バルここでオープンした際にね、結構その時にね、配信に関する意見もね、今だって言えるぜって言ってくる方いるんですけど、やっぱね、荒らされてるの のを見てるのは辛いって。だから全然自分はメンバーじゃないから書き込めないけど、それでもいいよ言ってくれる方結構多かったんで、もう今後はね、もう一生メンバーシップオンリーで行こうかなって思います。
But to counter this, Chinese netizens advised their fellow comrades to get paying subscriptions to bypass it. This caused Coco a lot of troubles, as she often was torn between forbidding new viewers to interact or have a spam-ridden chat. Evidently, stream growth slowed down during that time, as it heavily dissuaded.
No, you do not understand. She did not understand. She needed to request meme spams. Whenever there is an anti-Taiwan Chinese propaganda promotion, you go like this. Chat, I need you to post as many memes in chat as possible. Get it out of here. Just ask for the emotes. Have them spam it. You have no idea. There would be no chance. There would be no chance for them to stay because they would never exist. Every time you saw one, no matter how many, there would be memes out the bullsack. There would be you could write, like, I'm looking at like Xi Jinping, okay, as Winnie the Pooh. Just that's all you have to say. Say the Chinese ruler is Winnie the Pooh. Make a meme out of it. Every time these Chinese, Taiwan haters come into your chat, all you gotta do is you post Winnie the Pooh, have them spam it over, gone. Bamoosh, they would never do it again. They would hate you so much. They would hate you so much. It would be perfect. It would be perfect.
Newcomers to join.
いや、私最近ずっとメンバーシップ限定にコメント欄をしたりしてね、かなり自分でもね、これ新しい人入ってこれる空気じゃねえな、新しい人が入ってこれない配信作ってんなということが。
And it wasn't only Coco that was subjected to that, but most of the livers, with the exception of Aqua, who was highly regarded by Chinese nationalists. This was a delicate situation for Cover Corp. On one hand, Coco was their top earner. On the other hand, China was their business partner, and they were pissed off. To protect their investment and try to minimize the damage, Hololive established some restrictions on Coco for the time being. She was expressively forbidden to interact with the new English branch, who she had basically helped kickstart. She was also less frequently invited to collab, and Hololive seemed to not put her forward as much anymore.
Have you thought about doing any collab with the Hololive EN girls? I do want to collab with the ENs. Ask them! Because I do want to do it. So ask them. You'll see why it's not happening. Maybe they're too shy to collab. Maybe they are. Or someone is stopping us.
Hey, guess what? I'm sure the English United States girls, okay, would love to have collaborations with you. Because everyone in the world hates China. China sucks, okay? Every time you're getting pissed, every time, like I said, memes of Xi Jinping as Winnie the Pooh, okay? Yeah, exactly. You're right, Prayson. You're absolutely right. We're doing VTuber controversies today, and this woman said the word Taiwan and had spams and all of these death threats from Chinese nationalists. She didn't understand. I don't think she's been on the internet long enough. All she would have to say, okay, whenever the bots come to promote China, all you have to say, chat, okay, I need you to fill this with Winnie the Pooh memes. I need you to spam Winnie the Pooh memes. Spam them. They would go away. Solution solved. It would have been as easy as that. She hasn't been on the internet long enough to realize that's all it would take.
Ooh.
China joins chat.
They have to be defensive because, the things that happened to me. So I won't blame anyone if they don't want to collab with me.
Exactly, it's over.
I'm not going to blame anyone.
Her colleagues and friends started to interact publicly with her less frequently for fear of backlash, and understandably so, as a simple greeting would be enough to make her aunties turn their anger towards them.
They're being pussies, dude. They have no idea what's going on.
メンバー1年入ってる人、よし
See, Coco needed to deal with this.
君今モデレーターになったよ、今。エイペックス
She
と
had
別
no
のところで
idea.
戦ってる。
This was the case of Fubuki, who became one of their prime targets after she greeted Coco. And it also happened to Aqua, who, even though was their favorite, ended up receiving their wrath after she displeased them. These antis were extremely organized, and they have had whole priorities list made out.
It's like a freaking cult, dude! Look at this! They're after them! They're after the VTubers! They're after the girls! What? Dude, someone's gonna hunt them down.
Of who to harass in order
him,
for each
yeah.
event. Imagine if so much energy was put into solving world problems instead. We would literally
Prayson, you have no idea. I've been going through these VTuber controversies. We still have a lot of videos to go through, but the one on Doki Bird, unbelievable. That literally, her company just shot themselves. They shot themselves. It's over for them in the States. It's freaking done.
Solve world hunger. After months of constant pressure, Coco finally
I didn't know
broke down
VTubers
on
had so
stream.
much controversy. How do people hate them? Or hate what they do? I should have realized. It's like anime logo. What the frick? Wait. Wait, what's going on here? Wait, what happened here?
She then decided to take.
Did they really go after her? It was a hit list. They went down and tracked her down. Dude. What?
A voluntary secondary break. During that break, she tried to stream on her alt channel, where she got harassed as well. Meanwhile, her international
Wait, she became Kason? I didn't know that.
fans continued to show her support. They showered her with encouraging messages in her offline chat during
They
the
shot
break. We
through- they
also saw
broke
some
her
counter
window.
groups start to form during that time to help fight back against Coco.
They broke her window and her neighbor broke down her door and rushed in. She magically disappears. No, she just got another VTuber.
Harassment. Accounts like Hololive Save were created to help combat against anti-spreading of misinformation online, as they were extremely frequent at the time, and smear campaigns against Hololive. Eventually, they even figured out how to create a Google add-on to hide all of the spams from the chat to get a clean experience. They would report malicious accounts daily, and eventually, little by little, the numbers of antis started to dwindle down. So for this segment,
That's
I
it.
had originally planned to dedicate
The
an
free
entire
world has
section
done it
to delve
again.
into the intricate details surrounding the shutdown of Hololive CN branch
They
and
got
the
those
dramatic
commie
events that
bastards.
unfolded in the midst.
They ain't
However,
messing
my
with
video
no
is
VTuber
already
now.
the longest one I've ever made, so I've decided to save this in-depth exploration for my next video. Instead, I'll provide you with a brief summary of the events here. In an unexpected series of developments, Hololive's Chinese branch was shaken to its core. These events included the disbandment of the branch, the graduation of VTubers, and Hololive's abrupt withdrawal from any affiliation with the Chinese Communist Party.
Yes. Hololive took the free world side and VTuber side and left China over this. Dude, I respect them now. They're the best. They win. They left. I can't believe it.
CCP and China. Initially, Hololive wanted to graduate their Chinese branch, but were debating on whether or not to allow the VTubers to retain their avatars and potentially allow them to transfer to another company. But then came the truly jaw-dropping revelation. Behind the scenes, some CN VTubers, mainly Artia and Rosalind, who had maintained a facade of being apolitical and innocent, were discovered to be covertly encouraging harassment towards not only foreign fans, but
They were spies? VTuber spies? Dude, the Chinese got in on the VTubers. They hijacked the VTubers, dude. They got to them. They're in the walls.
Also towards Kiryu Coco. They were actively involved in supporting the CCP and harboring nationalist views. For a significant period, Hololive CN and Chinese netizens, with the exceptions of the VTubers Yogiri and Echo, had been operating a dual game, concealing their true intentions and laughing at the ignorance of international fans who remained in the dark about most of the CN VTubers not only being nationalists but also displaying mean-spirited and even racist attitudes towards foreigners. This revelation resulted in a deep division within the community and fueled anti-Chinese sentiments among fans even further. As this chapter unfolded, Hololive found itself at a crucial juncture. They had to make a choice, and they recognized that they were no longer heavily reliant on the Chinese market. With a thriving Western market and the immense success of HoloMyth, it became evident that their primary sources of revenue lay within their Japanese and American markets. Even more remarkably, Hololive exhibited incredible foresight by departing from China before a new legislative law concerning streaming took effect.
Wait, television ordered live streamers and gift-giving fans to register their real names, banning those under 18. Well, yeah, obviously this is where most of the money came from. This is Ninji Sanji's still in China, and we all hate them, so good.
Several months later, thus avoiding potential complications. Well played, Hololive. In the end, Hololive reached the resolute conclusion that the potential drawbacks and uncertainties associated with their presence in China far outweighed any potential benefits. This revelation, combined with the discovery of the traumatic events, led to their strategic decision to bid a swift and unapologetic farewell to the Chinese market. They immediately pulled the plug on letting the girls keep their avatars and graduated them promptly.
They did. This stuff goes deep. Yeah, they did. You're gonna send people to shoot one of the girls? You're gonna send people to cause violence against one of our workers? We're taking your avatars away. We're taking your social media accounts away. Yeah. Yeah, that's what you get. You can't incite violence to people. That's bad. You can't do that. Yeah.
Spectators gone and the numbers of antis becoming smaller and smaller, the dust had finally started to settle. But out of the blue, after 8 months, Kiryu Coco decided to announce her graduation. The news were received online with immense sadness.
私ホロライブを卒業、あとね、数日で卒業してしまうんですけども、これはもうダメだな、私はって、思ったことの、きっかけの一つに、そう、比べて自分の方が、プラスでいないとすぐに闇落ちしちゃうんで、私は。
But Coco was determined to make the most of her last few days at Hololive and spend them just as she had lived her life so far, with unabashed happiness and joy. Hololive lifted all restrictions on Coco to the days leading to her graduation, and she got to collab with whoever she wanted. She released a new song, she had a 3D concert, and many paid tribute to her during that time. From fans to colleagues, Coco was celebrated and her face even plastered on bus and posters all over Japan and Taiwan.
Taiwan savior, dude. Taiwan savior. She did it. Also, if you were being attacked, like if someone threw something garbage through your window or whatever, I think, I think you would retire too. I think that would be the end. Yeah.
すぎて言葉が出てこなかったです。考えれば考えるほどやっぱり泣けたし、想像ができなかったかなって。しかもそして今でもできてないちょっと。わかる。本当に明日からいないの？
ないね。かもね。
泣きそう。4期生が4人という形になっても、いつまでも4期生は5人で、4期生としてトワは頑張っていこうと思います。大好きなココ。
See, Hololive owed a lot to Coco, and their way of thanking her was by giving her a magnificent send-off. She finally retired from Hololive on July 1st, 2021, with a record-breaking graduation ceremony, and left behind a legacy of innovation and inspiration for many VTubers and fans around the world.
個人的には、寂しくて泣いちゃうって感じですか？
そうですね、やっぱり。こ
の場所は
Yeah, so basically, I learned this too. VTubers are contracted by a company. They're not, so a VTuber is not a person that just comes in like a Logan Paul or something. No, they have managers. In Hollow Live, it's a lot better and great. They're actually nice. V Shoujo's not so bad. But Niji Sanji was the people who did, like, they're horrible. They just shut people down. So, yeah. But you can just, you're like contracted. There's a contract that you have to stream every day and all this. And, no, yeah. It's like a retirement thing. Like, she only did it for, like, what, 3 years? 3 years with $300,000. Look, everyone's missing her. Wait, she only did it for 2 years?
母様が不注意でさ、アメネティクスなんて載せなければ何もなかったのにってずっと思ってて、でも言えなくて、なんでさ、母様
Look how sad they got!
なんで母様はさ
It was their friend all along. And she left. And that was it.
Now, things may seem pretty bleak here, but don't worry guys, the story's got a good ending. Coco eventually returned as Kei-san in Vtuber Heaven, otherwise named as V Shoujo.
She did come back. She did come back. Okay, so Kei-san is in Smite. That's all I know. I did not know they were the same person.
As she enjoyed increased freedom there, Kei-san got to be herself. But she still got into several incidents, such as when Kei-san was removed from a live stream she was supposed to attend because of Chinese backlash. The company essentially threw Kei-san under the bus as they apologized to China. But Kei-san was never this rated before, and she wasn't about to start now.
I want to be a worldwide delinquent. I'll do whatever I want kind of person.
Many regards Kei-san's innovation as the cornerstone of what makes
Look at all the other VTuber. I know all these people. Yeah, I know these people. These are all Smite characters. Silverveil. This was Persephone, Nuwa. I've heard. It's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Also, that's actually her. She got up on stage, dressed as her character. Look at that. That takes some real balls.
Special. Her combination of IRL VTubing streams during that period pushed the boundaries of what is considered normal VTubing even further. While these innovations were indeed impressive, what's even more remarkable about Kei-san is her positive outlook and mental fortitude that enabled her to emerge from a situation that would have devastated most people, all while retaining her faith in humanity and, most importantly, her capacity to love them.
I am joining this biggest party here. Hello, V Shoujo!
Kei-san's generosity continued even after the hardship she suffered. She would often help fellow VTubers numerous times. For example, she helped De La Tuya with her charity stream when she didn't even know her. And another notable example of this is when she saw an indie VTuber named Asakura Konoha post about her computer breaking down due to an earthquake. And Kei-san, despite not even knowing her, promptly sent her a new computer.
パソコンとマイクとミキサーとキーボードとか画面
What a great person!
マウス全部それだけあればすぐ始められるよっていう
During Kei-san's tenure at Vshoujo, she also participated in a contest held by the game developer Sega, which offered participants a chance to become a character in Like a Dragon 8. Kei-san is known for being a huge fan of the Yakuza series and anything related to it, so she jumped at the opportunity. Over 1,000 people auditioned for this, and Kei-san was selected as one of the 5 finalists for the part that was being broadcasted on TV.
She was one of the stripper girls in the show, in the game. It actually was in my Let's Play. I didn't know it was her until just now, but Yeah, that's her.
Despite being competitors, Kei-san also made a true friend along the way with the fellow cosplayer Kaname Ai. Their friendship is a testament to the power of camaraderie, as they cheered each other on all the way to the final round of the contest. It was really wholesome to see their friendship blossom during the contest, and you can see so many clips of them showing their crazy antics online. Despite her passion for the series, Kei-san faced criticism from haters who criticized her looks.
なんかそのね、そういういじられ方してるの最初すごい不思議だったの。そうだけど、
Yeah,
こう
she's
フォロー
not
さ
the
せて
most
もらってし
beautiful
ばらく
lady
見たら
ever,
納
but
得。
that's not the point.
And additionally, China censored her
She's
face
pretty
during the
for
Chinese
what she
live
is,
stream
yeah,
of the
that's
contest.
great.
Despite these challenges, though, Kei-san's passion for the Yakuza and the Like a
Can you
Dragon
bounce
series
her
was so
Yes. It's all pre-recorded. You like buy them gifts, and you can buy them wine and spend money on them, and it's like a little mini game. And and yeah, you could do it with Kiryu or Ichiban. And whenever you buy them stuff, it goes like this, you know, like they bounce up and down.
apparent that the judges had to see that she was the perfect fit to win this contest. To everyone's surprise, including Kei-san herself, she won. She cried when she won, but this time it was tears of joy.
そう、やっぱり私の勝った理由ですね。皆さんからいろいろ聞いて、その投票の理由とか、やっぱり龍が如く愛だった。龍が如くを多分この中で誰よりも愛してるんじゃないかと。本当にずーっと好きって言ってきてよかった。
In that moment, Kei-san obtained everything she ever desired. A true friend, a character in her favorite series, but most importantly, she realized she was going to be just fine.
I did it, guys! Thank you!
Thank you so much for joining me today and watching this
one.
video. And
Yeah.
don't forget, use my link.
Yeah, that was a good video for sure. Loved it. Let's go ahead and put the link in chat.